I watched Frankenstein. Frankenstein is an Oscar nominated movie. It is
You
nominated for Best
watched you watched Guillermo del Toro's.
Frankenstein.
Gotta make sure you say that because there's a lot of iterations of Frankenstein.
Right, but there's only one that's currently up for Best Picture at the Oscars. So I assumed it was implied, but thank you. So I watched it. Now here's the thing. I hate that I start things by saying now here's the thing. We're gonna get some merch that just says, now here's the thing. So I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of a Frankenstein film. What I mean by that is this is not my normal. Stop your looking around. This is not my normal movie. This is not a normal movie for me that I would watch. I don't have. You're saying there's so many iterations of Frankenstein. Of course, I know who Frankenstein is. And of course, when I was a kid, like, I've seen programming about Frankenstein and all of that. Like, I'm not confused about what Frankenstein is. Just to be clear, I'm not saying that I don't
Okay.
know. I didn't know what I was watching. I knew exactly what the concept was. But what I mean is, I just wouldn't normally watch this on my own. So, a movie like this, I don't have anything to compare this to, really.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. So I'm I'm starting from ground zero when it comes to this movie because I don't have a huge frame of reference to pull from. That being said, and this might be my criticism for every Oscar movie I've watched. I understand that and I'm okay with that if you guys are okay with that. What were you going to say?
Coconuts in Barbados. Shout out to Avid Preach. Never mind.
Okay.
That being said, coconuts in
Coconuts in
Barbados.
Barbados. Okay. So this was a very long movie. Let's start there. I think the reason I have to say that it was a very long movie is because I think it took too long to get to where we went.
That is the criticism I have heard of this movie.
Yeah. It just it dragged. And you know me, I'm very much into a movie that tells a story. I'm willing to wait for the climax if the story is good. But to me, there was a lot of in between stuff that happened from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie. And I just didn't care for that. As far as the storyline goes, I mean, that was fine. Again, if you know about Frankenstein, the story writes itself. So, this is, like you said, Guillermo del Toro's version of it. And I thought that that was fine. I thought the way the story was told was fine, aside from the fact that it was just long and drawn out. Um, I thought the acting was good. It was sufficient. I didn't think that there was anything untoward about the acting. I thought the acting was fine. And I'm thinking about all these things now because the more I watch these Oscar movies, I'm like, okay, I get why this. First of all, I get why there's so many movies in the category because there's so many elements to these movies. You've got cinematography, you've got story, you've got costumes, you've got acting, you've got so many different things that you have to consider. So I'm trying in my review to address all of those things. I'm trying to get better at these reviews as I do them.
Sure. I like that.
Yeah, so I thought, costuming was fine. I mean, the big monster that, the monster is, portrayed the way he should be. All of that was all of that was cool. I mean, it was okay, right? Like, I think the movie was a solid 7.
Okay.
There was nothing to me that was super exciting about it.
Okay.
I feel like what happened happened. You know, um, homeboy Frankenstein got to tell his story, and then his creation got to tell his story.
Okay. You mean Victor Frankenstein got to tell his story?
Victor, yeah. Victor got to tell his story. Yeah, when I'm saying Frank, yes, I understand. I
Because
get why.
Frankenstein is widely known as the creature, not the creator.
Right, but Victor's name is also Frankenstein, and the
I
creature's
know.
name
That's
is
why.
Frankenstein because of Victor. So, yes, but I should call him Victor for the purpose of this conversation. Yeah, Victor got to tell his story. Frankenstein got to tell his story.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. I felt like it took too long for us to get to Frankenstein's story. So when he started telling his story, it was like, first of all, it was like, aha, okay, it was heartfelt. And I respected, the heartfelt story that they brought to life. I appreciated that.
And who is the heartfelt story of Victor or the monster?
The monster.
Okay.
Because
I don't know, so I'm asking.
the monster starts telling his story, and he's basically like, Victor is a terrible man.
Okay.
And, Victor's got to die.
Got it.
He's like, at the end, he ends up saying something like, I hope I'm not misstating this, but he ends up saying something like, basically, you're my father, and I love you, but you deserve to die.
It'd be like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought if they would have focused on his story sooner in the movie, I even think that this story is interesting being told from his perspective completely, if they had done it that way.
Okay.
Because I think that was my favorite part of the movie.
That's what I've been told. I've been told that the acting from Oscar Isaac, which is Victor Frankenstein, is great. And the cinematography is beautiful. But it takes 8 years to get to Frankenstein's perspective, to get to the real shit about the creature that you think about when you see the name Frankenstein and what you're wanting to see when you press play. I've been told that you don't get to see any of that shit for like an hour. Like the first hour is all Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah. And that's how they did it. I think that was by design. It was from his perspective first, and then it was from Frankenstein's perspective after. Because he walks in and he says, and they think that he's gonna kill him and the other guy who's in the room, and he's like, no, he got to tell his story, let me tell my story. And that's how it kicks off that part of the film. So this was by design. They split the stories into two so you could get both perspectives, which I think is fine, but I think I would have found it more interesting if it was just told from Frankenstein's perspective. Because what they could have done was still shown us the beginning where he was created and all of that, and then we know kind of where Victor was at, but then start telling us the story through the lens of Frankenstein, because I think that's the part that has the meat, because he was the one who was being mistreated. He was the one who everyone was trying to kill. Like, he's the more interesting character. Not to say that Victor Frankenstein is not interesting. I mean, hello. But yeah, that's what I would have done differently. I would have made more of the movie. Like, I would have made the movie shorter and made most of the movie his perspective.
How much of the movie needs to go?
I was just trying to pull up how long it was, just so I could
Oh, hold
remember,
on.
because
I
I've been
got it.
watching so many movies that I might get the times mixed up.
I actually
It's
pulled up the IMDb just for that purpose, and then closed it when you answered my when we started really talking.
so it's 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Okay, there it is.
Now I know most movies these days won't be under 2 hours. You could easily chop a half hour off of this movie. Probably a little bit more if they were willing to, but let's say they're unwilling and they want to make it at least 2 hours. I think they could have easily chopped off a half hour.
Yeah, 229. This says
Yeah.
149 minutes. Yep. All right. Well,
So, next
if you
movie.
could chop off,
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. I was gonna say if you could chop off 30 minutes, there's a problem.
Yeah, I would get rid of about 30 minutes of that cuz I don't think you really needed it.
Hmm.
I think some of the scenes that were in between could be kept in, but like some of that fluff could have been taken out. Like once the dude's niece realizes that Victor might be on some bullshit, they could have kept that in just so we know like how that popped off, and she
Mhm.
was right. She was right. So that's why what she said or what she her hunch was important. And then we could have just at that point we know that Victor was on some bullshit. He was. You want to go and create a man from death and then get mad and try to kill him. My nigga.
Let me say one thing before we go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
When I saw this trailer,
Hmm.
I knew this was not a movie for me to watch.
I think you should watch it. I was gonna say that at the end. I think you should watch it.
Nope. I'm not waiting an hour to talk about Frankenstein, the creature. Victor von Frankenstein. I'll say Victor Von Doom, which is Doctor Doom. Uh,
Hmm.
Victor Frankenstein can go fly a kite. Don't nobody give a fuck about Victor Frankenstein. We don't press play on the Frankenstein movie to watch 47 minutes about Victor Frankenstein. And Guillermo del Toro redoing all the classics, he could stop.
That's what this is really about. That's what your angst is really about. You got something to say to Guillermo del Toro.
Did you hear anything fly about his Pinocchio?
No. No, I didn't.
Exactly. Exactly. He did Pinocchio. Now he did Frankenstein. Yo, you ain't low, my nigga. I see you trying to redo the classics. Chill. Stop fucking with the classics. Let the classics just stay classics.
There's a water break.
That's
You didn't
it.
even watch the movie.
And I didn't need to, just like I didn't need to watch Pinocchio.
Wait, did you watch Pinocchio?
No. I just said like I
Wait,
didn't need to watch Pinocchio.
is it that you send people to watch these movies for you so you don't have to watch them?